Hi, welcome back to our week 4 devotional series of Lent. I'm Brian, I'm the LCC student pastor, and I'm so excited that you're joining us this week. If your week is like mine, it has been crazy, it has been filled with dentist appointments and things that we have just not expected in our lives. So with that being said, we're excited that you're here making time for you and your family. Follow along as I read from scripture this week in Luke chapter 12. Someone in the crowd said to him, "Teacher, tell my brothers to divide the family inheritance with me." But he said to him, "Friend, who set me to be a judge or arbitrator over you?" And he said to them, "Take care, be on your guard against all kinds of greed, for one's life does not consist in the abundance of possessions." Then he told them a parable. The land of a rich man produced abundantly. And he thought to himself, "What should I do, for I have no place to store my crops?" Then he said, "I will do this. I will pull down my barns and build larger ones, and there I will store all my grain and my goods. And I will say to my soul, 'Soul, you have ample goods laid up for many years. Relax, eat, drink, be merry.' But God said to him, 'You fool, this very night your life is being demanded of you. And the things you have prepared, whose will they be?' So it is with those who store up treasures for themselves, but you are now rich towards God." He said to his disciples, "Therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life and what you will eat, or about your body, what you will wear. For life is more than food, and the body more than the clothing. Consider the ravens. They neither sow nor reap. They have neither storehouse nor barn, and yet God feeds them. Of how much more value are you than the birds? Can any of you, by worrying, add a single hour to your lifespan? If then you are not able to do a small thing as that, why do you worry about the rest? Consider the lilies, how they grow. They neither toil nor spin. Yet I tell you, even Solomon in all of his glory was not clothed like one of these. But if God so clothes the grass of the field, which is alive today and tomorrow and is thrown into the oven, how much more will he clothe you, you of little faith? And do not keep striving for what you are to eat and what you are to drink. And do not keep worrying, for it is the nations of the world that strive after all these things, and your Father knows that you need them. Instead, strive for his kingdom, and these things will be given to you as well. Do not be afraid, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Sell your possessions and give alms. Make purses for yourselves that do not wear out. An unfailing treasure is in heaven, where no thief comes near and no moth destroys. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." Jesus talks about a farmer who built a huge barn after he tore down his old ones. He wanted to store as much stuff as possible in that barn, because he thought that treasure mattered. But in reality, as we heard in that story, that treasure was meaningless. It was a bunch of junk in a barn. It didn't impact his life after here. So Jesus goes on to say that there's more to life than food and clothing. There's more to this story of God and our life than we can imagine. It's not just about how much clothes we have, how much food we have in the fridge, or what kind of house we live in. That stuff is meaninless to God. Instead, he cares about our heart, our love for him, and our love for our others around us. So as a family, I encourage you guys to sit back for a little bit and just think about this question. What would have happened if the farmer had kept what he needed and given away the crops he did not need? Friends, thank you so much for hopping in today with us in this week 4 devotional. Stay tuned next week for week 5.